Hello and welcome. Kelly here with your level 3 flow class today. This is going to be a really challenging practice, lots of balance, lots of stability, core work, some standing poses thrown in there, and then lots of things to warm up the body. So grab a couple blocks or some extra support if you need it, an extra blanket for the knees if you don't have a thicker mat. And we're going to get started in centering, starting with a little reading. So make yourself comfortable. You can sit up on the knees like I am, or you can cross the legs in a Sukhasana position. Today, we're going to talk about the Sanskrit word for transformation, which is Parinama. And this reading comes from the Path of one I highly suggest. And the first paragraph in this chapter about transformation says, everything in nature, including ourselves, changes from moment to moment, day to day, year to year. How well we accept and adapt to the changes can affect our lives in helpful or harmful ways. Our heart and mind can change quickly on the outside, but our deeply held opinions, long-standing habits are much slower to transform. So just something I've been thinking about personally is when changes are brought on us that we maybe didn't want. Kind of like this time, I don't think anybody wished for something like this to happen. So noticing if you just kind of hold your ground and get this kind of stubbornness and say, well, I'm still gonna live my life. Of course, there's a sense of resilience and willpower in that, but can you also be transformed by the experience? Can you step back and slow things down, even though this change was brought on and maybe you didn't seek it? So kind of taking these philosophies, these things from our Yoga Sutras, and bringing them onto our mat, bringing them into our daily practice as we live our lives. Are you able to slow yourself down, not put all your value in your productivity? Or, on the other hand, maybe you're a healthcare worker and you need to kind of dig deeper for that sense of resilience and willpower to get up and do what you do every day. All of these are ways we can kind of transform our experience brought on by this change, this external change. So, some ways we can approach that as we move around on our mat today are to notice what feels familiar, what is comforting. Sometimes we need that. And also notice what we can approach with a new light. What can we look at in a different way? So just kind of taking that, if that resonates with you today, taking that onto your mat. If not, you can leave it behind. And then we'll finish up with a reading at the end of class from the same chapter. So let's go ahead and start on our backs today for centering. We'll come on down, lie back. Maybe let the legs go side to side. Let the back of the head relax. Hands stretch out. Feet go slightly wider. And then let the knees fall together so the entire low back is really connected with the floor. Draw the belly in just slightly and then soften the abdominal muscles so that you're not holding on to anything. Back of the hands release towards the floor. Let the eyes close or find a soft gaze towards the ceiling. And we'll begin to focus on the breath. Nice big inhale through the nose. And nice slow exhale through the nose. Just noticing where you are at this moment. What's going on in the mind, in the physical body. And seeing if you can start to draw your awareness into this moment onto your mat. Just giving yourself the reminder that if a distraction, something going on around you pulls your attention away, that's perfectly normal. But every time you always have the ability to come back to the breath. As you're here, seeing if you can soften the muscles of the face, the back of the shoulders, all the way down to the tailbone and into the feet. Feeling truly connected with the earth below you. One more big inhale and exhale. Start to let the head move side to side, relaxing the back of the neck. And then eventually we'll let the legs find the same movement. Just letting them move like windshield wipers, feeling that release of the low back. And also taking notice without judgment, anything that feels tight or sore, especially during a challenging flow practice, always listening to your body, finding what feels right for you. And just because I'm doing it on the screen doesn't necessarily mean you have to find the same variation. When you're ready, we'll come all the way back to center. Gather those knees in towards the chest, blinking the eyes open. And then curl the head, neck, and shoulders up off the floor, rounding into a little ball. Release the back of the neck, side to side. And then on an inhale, we're going to stretch the feet long, reach the hands overhead. Find a nice full body stretch. Point the toes, inhale, reach through the fingertips. And then exhale, draw it in again. Good, bringing the nose towards the knees, chin to chest, rounding the back. Inhale, stretch it long. Exhale, squeeze it in last time. And then from here, we're going to bring the hands either right to the sides of the torso, thumbs kind of tucked under your bottom, or palms can go all the way under to really support the low back. From here, we're going to let the head, neck, and shoulders come down. Make sure those shoulders stay away from the ears. And send the legs straight up. We're going to start with just the legs as we get into a little bit of this core warm-up. Extending down the right leg nice and slow, keeping that extension. When you get to the very bottom, curl up the head, neck, and shoulders, not putting any strain in the neck. And then as the leg comes up, back up, you can let the head come down. We'll continue with the left leg. So exhale all the way down. When you get to that most challenging point where it's hovering, lift the head up. And then squeeze it back up and in. Good, we'll continue with the breath. So inhale, exhale as the head curls up, inhale back up, exhale head down. One more each side. Maybe switching to that ujjayi breath as things get a little warm, maybe challenging. That helps us warm up internally. Pull the knees back into the chest and rock side to side. As we build into a little bit more movement, this next time we're going to grab a block. So if you don't have a block close by, you can use something of a similar shape, but we are going to be passing it from the hands to the feet, and you don't have to use a prop at all. You just want to make sure it's not too heavy, so I don't suggest a full water bottle because as you're passing it over your face, you don't want it to land on you. So we're going to start off by sending that block all the way up in between the feet. You're going to squeeze the thighs together, squeeze the knees together, and of course squeeze the ankles that are holding the block. Flex the feet, stay active. Good. And then we're going to lower the feet all the way down towards the floor. You can kind of grip the mat to help out. Maybe keep that extension, or you can bend the knees and lower. tap, and then bring it back up. As you bring it back up, you're gonna curl up, little crunch in the shoulders and the head, grab onto your block, and then we're gonna send it back out again. Block comes up overhead. Inhale, as you squeeze up, shoulders lift, head lifts past the block, and then extend it back down. Start to move with the breath. So inhale as you open everything up. Exhale as you squeeze the legs and arms together. Great time to come into that ujjayi breath. Drawing the belly button in with each exhale. Only takes a few to get really warmed up. And only going as low with the legs so you can maintain the contact of the low back towards the floor. We'll try for 3 more. Last one. Bend those knees, place your block off to the side, pull the knees into the chest, and we're just gonna rock side to side. Maybe circle those knees around. Side out. Good, nice job. All right, coming up into a little bit more of a traditional core work for yoga, we're gonna come up into a boat pose. So a couple options here. You can rock up and try to balance right into your boat, or you might need to sit up, set up your boat, and then find your balance. So choose which one feels good for you. Hands are gonna reach right behind the knees. Inhale all the way, exhale, we'll bring it up. Good. Bring those shins parallel to the floor and then start to lift the chest. So we don't wanna be rounded here. We wanna keep the chest lifted, gazing out in front of you. Here's our traditional boat pose, full boat. And then as you exhale, we're gonna come down to half boat. Extending the arms a little round in the shoulders. Inhale up, exhale out. Start to move with the breath. Two more. Pull those knees in, find balance. Cross the shins, rock all the way over, and step back into your downward facing dog. Settle into the breath. Check in on those shoulders, give the head and neck a shake, yes and no. And here we'll just allow the body to open. Letting all that warming sensation from our core work sizzle out into the rest of the body. One more. And then make your way down into a child's pose. Knees wide, toes together. Sit it all the way back. Good. Hands can crawl forward, or you might let the elbows come down, making a little point at the back of the head with the forehead on the floor. Good. From this position, we're going to take a few long breaths, just reminding your body that this is a great place to come to whenever you need to slow down and do a little less. Good. One more full inhale and exhale. When you're ready, we're going to bring those hands back down to the floor and then come up to a tabletop position. Make sure the knees come back a little bit more narrow directly under the hips. We'll start to move in and out of our cat-cow. So we're going to build this up into a little deeper flow. Inhale, stretch forward, and then exhale, round. Good, try that 2 more times. Inhale, noticing, even though our cat-cow is something we do in almost every class, almost every time you're on your mat, if you usually practice with me, seeing what you can feel that's a little bit different. What feels like it's changed and shifted just slightly in those 3 cycles. Good. At the end of the next one, we're going to tuck the toes under as we stretch forward and then pull the hips back towards the heels. Get a little stretch through the arches of the feet. Let the head relax. Good. Inhale, scoop forward, elbows get close to the floor as they bend, and then glide your way through. Exhale, round, and push the hips back towards the heels. Good, one more just like that. Elbows stay hugging in as you scoop through. Round the back of the body, hips back towards the heels, and then pop those knees up off the floor. Inhale, completely belly on the thighs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Round forward into your plank pose. And then lower those knees back down towards the floor. Lift the chest through. Inhale. Exhale, hips back towards the heels. Head relaxes. Inhale, hover the knees off the floor. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, knees down, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Hips back towards the heels or cat between cat and child's. Inhale, scoop forward, pop those knees up off the floor. Exhale, downward dog. One more all the way through. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees down. Lower all the way back. Exhale. Inhale, scoop up, pop the knees off the floor. And then back, downward facing dog. Adding a little bit more this time, we're going to round forward into our plank pose. Lower all the way to the belly. Good. Hands go out to the side into a wide position. Push into those fingertips. Roll the shoulders back and peel the chest up 3 times. Lower down on the exhale. Inhale, hands get a little closer. Peel it up. 1 rib at a time. Lifting up as much as feels good for you in the beginning of class. Hands right under those armpits. Scoop it up. And then all the way back down. Push into those hands. Round back, tuck the toes under. And then pop the knees up off the floor. Downward facing dog. 2 more like that. Inhale, we're going to round forward. Plank pose. Exhale, see if you can hold for a moment in chaturanga. Elbows into the sides. And then lower it down. Inhale, scoop up. Exhale, lower. Hands get a little closer. Inhale as you rise up, filling the belly with air. Exhale as you push all the air out. Last one, hands close as possible. Tuck those toes under, push back. Rounded position, pop the knees off the floor. And then back, downward facing dog. Last one all the way through. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, drop, chaturanga. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Lower it all the way down. Wide stance in the hands. Inhale, top of the feet push down. Lower it down. Hands get a little closer. That means a deeper lift if possible. No pressure in the low back. Squeeze the glutes together. Last one, hands right under the armpits. Maybe adding in a little twist here, peeking back over the shoulder down towards the heel, only if that feels good for you. Try the other side. And then lower it back down. Push into those hands, tuck the toes under, pop the knees up off the floor, and open up to downward facing dog. Give the head and neck a little shake, find some space and opening, whatever that means for you. So that might mean the legs just get slightly straighter. That might mean that your toes start to lift off the floor as the balls of the feet spread out and feel more connected. That might mean that the hands spread out so much you can feel the knuckle of every finger pushing down as well as the tips of the fingers, almost making 2 circles, grounding towards the floor in the hands. We'll take our last full inhale. And then we're going to look forward towards the top of the mat, bend those knees, start to walk up all the way towards the hands. Good. From this position, pull the heart forward, lift the chest. Exhale, fold and deepen. First forward fold, so take it easy. Feel free to keep those knees bent. Give the head and neck a little shake. Good. Take about 2 more breaths. You might find a little movement, shifting from the front to the back of the feet, swaying out the hands. And then when you're ready, bend those knees even deeper. Shift the hips back, round up the spine 1 vertebrae at a time, coming all the way up to stand. Good. We'll reach down through the bottom of the feet, pull the head, neck, and shoulders back, finding your way into a Tadasana pose. As you get into this position, notice what has already shifted and transformed. Good. This may feel enjoyable, especially if you made the effort to already get on your mat. And you're probably feeling pretty good about that space you've created so far, making the commitment to be here. Notice what you're resisting against. What thoughts come up in the mind that you try to just push away. Welcome them, and use an exhale to let them go. Good. When you're ready, we'll slowly start to move into our first flow. So we're going to inhale, reach all the way up. Tap those fingertips together. Maybe a little back bend, push the hips forward, shake out the head and neck. And then exhale, swan dive all the way down towards the floor. Good. We're going to inhale, pull the heart forward, lift the chest, create space to the back of the legs. And then exhale, plant those hands down. We're stepping back to our first plank to hold. Feel free to space out the feet a little bit more. Make sure the wrist crease is directly under the shoulders. And we're going to start to practice rocking forward for our chaturanga. So come up onto the tips of the toes and bring the shoulders over the fingertips. And then shift it back. Try that 2 more times. Inhale forward. Exhale back. 1 more. From here, as you're on the tips of the toes, we're going to drop back, elbows stay close to the sides of the body, chaturanga. Inhale, scoop up, flip on the top of the feet. Nice big inhale in your upward facing dog, thighs hovering. Exhale back, downward facing dog. 3 breath cycles here, settle in. Shoulders pull away from the ears, outer edges of the arms wrap towards the floor. The end of that last exhale, we're going to bring the toes to come together at the back of the mat. Inhale, the right leg's going to lift high. Good. Flex the foot, push through the heel. And then start to really cross that heel to the left side so that you feel that stretch running down through the front of the right hip. Inhale completely. Maybe start to bend the knee just to create a little bit more sensation and opening. Exhale, we're going to pull that right knee all the way to the left elbow, coming under the body to squeeze. Inhale, right leg up. Flex through the foot. Instead of crossing it, see if you can lift it up just as high as possible. Flex through that heel. And then right knee, right elbow, tap it in. Inhale, reach it straight up. This time we're pointing the toe. Full extension, push into the arms, push into the left toe. Reach the right toe high and then lower the left heel to the floor. As close as you can get. Inhale. Exhale, right knee into chest for cheetah to hold for 3, 2, 1. Step it through. Inhale completely. Find that high lunge shape. And then when you're ready, feel balanced in the feet. Reach those fingertips forward and lift all the way up. Good. Settle in here. Check in. See what's going on. And then find that stability. Good. Notice the need to adjust. Fix your shirt as I just did. Fix your hair. See if you can just be here, even if it feels a little uncomfortable. One more inhale. Exhale, open it up, warrior two. Good. So another great place to think about transformation is in that sense of discomfort. Sometimes we can be uncomfortable in the bodies. We want to acknowledge and honor that always, especially on our mat. But other times we can just find a little discomfort in the mind, right? Those are the places that we can really evaluate. Can we sit with it for just a moment with that discomfort and then let it go? Start to deepen into your warrior two. One more complete inhale. Exhale, reach it back, reverse warrior. Left hand slides down the back leg, right fingertips lift up, inhale all the way. And then triangle pose, straighten the right leg out first, create space through the front of the right hip, and then reach out and over. Fingertips hover right behind that right calf, and then left hand reaches up towards the ceiling. Inhale completely. Coming back to that Ujjayi breath. Last one. Left hand pivots down towards the floor. Keep the right front leg straight and then scoot the left foot in. Actually, don't scoot the left foot in. Just lift enough to let the heel come off the floor, okay? We're gonna pull the right hip crease back as the right leg gets a little straighter into a long pyramid shape. Okay, so traditional pyramid, we'd shorten the stance, bring that left foot in closer, but we're doing a little bit more of a longer pyramid. If the front leg isn't completely straight, that's okay. So start to check in here, see how that feels. Notice if you're looking down at your right foot, if you're rolling to the pinky edge of the foot, see if you can really ground down through that big toe mound. Inhale all the way. And then as you exhale, either gather blocks or start to push into the hands a little deeper. So I like to use blocks because it just creates a little length for the arms in order to get this right foot back. So here's what we're gonna work on. We're gonna start by lifting the back heel as high as possible, shifting forward, kind of like we did in our plank. Then we're gonna round into those shoulders, push down into the floor, and then see if you can hover this right foot up. It's gonna feel like really hard to do. So try a few times. Even if you make it slightly lighter, you're using all of those aspects, the left thigh, the core, and then of course the upper body. Good. The next time we do it, we're gonna work to step back into our downward facing dog. So hover that right foot and send it back. Hands can stay on the blocks, or you can bring them down to the floor. We're gonna inhale here. Exhale, bend the knees, start to walk up towards the hands. Slide those blocks out to the side. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, bring it out and up. And exhale those hands down to center. Good. Inhale, reach it straight up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Half lift here, create space. Exhale, fold. Root down through those hands. This time you can step or hop back to plank. Make sure the elbows stay soft if you're hopping back. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, scoop it up, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breath cycles here. Notice any changes. Welcome them all. Even if it's the body telling you it's getting a little tired, that's all part of it. One more breath. When you're ready, we'll bring those toes to touch the back of the mat. Inhale, the left leg is going to lift high. Flex the foot. Before bending the knee, start to cross, sending the left heel towards the right side of your room. Inhale, lift and cross. Root down through both hands. Notice if you start to shift all the weight into the right hand. Keep the left hand grounded. Inhale, bend the knee. See if you can create a little bit more space. Foot is flexed. Exhale, left knee comes to right elbow, hover. Inhale, send it back up. Flex the foot. Kick the heel high. Inhale, a little bit higher. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Tap it in. Inhale, send it straight up. This time, point the toe. Create space, push into the hands, the ball of the right foot. Left toe lifts higher, and then right heel pushes down. Inhale. Exhale, left knee to left to center. 3, 2, 1. Step it softly through. High lunge. Set up the hands, find that space, and then reach those fingertips forward and lift it up. Good. Notice what that feels like. Inhale. Exhale. One more. And open up into your warrior two. Good. Finding that opening. Notice the feeling of resisting that depth. Sometimes resistance in the body is a good thing. Just kind of seeing which one is right for you. Is it the mind saying you can't? Or is it the body saying it's had enough? One more. Good. That right hand slides down the back leg. Left fingertips lift all the way up. Reach it back. Inhale completely into that left side body. And then straighten out the left leg. Inhale all the way. And into your triangle. Left hand comes down. Right fingertips reach up. Pull the head back. Start to push down through that left. From here, that's going to help us with our pyramid. Squeeze the inner thighs together, even though that right hip is rolling open. Inhale all the way. Exhale, right hand comes down. Good. Pivot the back heel up off the floor and then square off the hips. So notice if those hips are still open. See if you can start to square off the hips. The left leg may not straighten completely. That's okay. We're going to inhale and push down through that left big toe mountain again. Good. Pull the heart forward. Create a little space. Maybe fold to deepen. One more breath. Gather in those blocks if you'd like to use them or your props. Good. And if you are using traditional yoga blocks, I do not suggest the highest level because they just are a little bit more unstable. So either that first or second level. Good. From here, we're going to start with the back heel. Lift it up. Round the spine, pull the belly button in, and then see if you can hover that left foot. So one side might be easier than the other. Squeeze it up. One more. Slide that left leg back into your downward facing dog. Nice job. From here, inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk those feet up. Good. Pull the heart forward, lift the chest, create some space. And exhale, fold. Shake out the head and neck here. Roll it up. Hands reach out to the side, and big sigh as you come down to center. Good. In between our flows, we're going to take a little balancing break and come into tree pose. So go ahead and move to wherever you need to be in order to support your tree. So that may mean you get closer to the wall just so a hand can reach out, or you might want to step off your mat. From here, find the feet, spread out through the toes, the ball of the foot, and then bring those feet a little closer together. We're going to start with the left leg. I'll mirror you, so we're doing the same side. And then pull that leg up. Push it towards the inside of the thigh or calf. Keep the knee rotated straight out to the side, and then gather the hands into the heart center. Finding that stability. So we firm up the supporting right quad, front of the thigh, in order to push into the bottom of the foot. We create this nice, firm contact. Eyes focused at a non-moving point, or maybe even closing the eyes if you want a little bit more of a challenge. Come to the breath here, check in. One more full inhale and exhale. Find some stability as you come out of the pose. See if you can bring that leg forward to hover. Extend it straight out. And then lower it down. Good. And then we'll switch to the other side. So go ahead and bring those feet all the way together. Root down. And then lift the right knee. Rotate it out to the side, check on the balance, and then bring it up as you're ready. Good. Drawing in through the center of the body. So notice the tendency to kind of let things spill forward. Once you get into the pose, just kind of saying, oh, I'm here. Find that same awareness in your balance the entire time you're here. Good, and that's going to give you a little bit more sustainability in your balancing postures. Good. Notice what the muscles of the face are doing. So are you forcing the posture by focusing so much with the eyebrows and the jaw and the temples and the teeth clenched together? Can you find that balance of effort and ease through the muscles of the face? Take 2 more breaths. When you're ready, we'll slowly bring that knee forward, back out in front of you. Find that stability, extend it out, and then lower it down nice and slow. Good, nice job. All right, we're going to move into our next flow, taking things a little quicker with a few different variations. So if you're at home, if you need to watch and then go back and run through the video again, or run through just this next flow again, that's a great option to kind of get down some of the variations we're going to do. So take your time, do what makes sense for you. We'll root down into the feet, pull the head back. Take a nice big inhale, reach it up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, root down into those hands, step or hop, and move through your vinyasa at your speed. Inhale, scoop it up when you're ready. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. From this position, we're going to take that right leg all the way up. Good. Open up the hip. Feel the knee lift. Flex the foot. Good. Kind of like you're kicking towards that left side. Inhale all the way. Exhale, right knee to left elbow, and then kick it out to the side for fallen triangle. Pinky edge of the foot comes down as the left hand lifts, and reach it straight up. Inhale here. As you exhale, left hand comes down. Right leg swings under and back up, opening up the hip. Point the toe this time. Look under your left arm and open up into wild thing. Option to flip the top of the foot onto the floor or keep the toe down, and then pull the right hand off the floor into your wild thing. Inhale, gazing towards the edge of your mat. Exhale, right hand down, right leg lifts. Good. From here, inhale all the way. Exhale. Coming forward into side plank on the left side. Right foot stacks on top, right hand lifts. Good. We're going to start to pull this right knee in. You might grab it with the hand or just keep it lifting. And we're going to try to step it to the top right corner of the mat. Nice job. Keep the right hand off the floor. Windmill those arms up into your high lunge. Nice job. Settle in, reach the right knee forward, pull the left heel back. The end of the next exhale, we're going to come into a little bit of a heart opener. So start to pull the elbows back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Palms face up, gaze turns up, and then deepen into the legs at the same time. Inhale completely. Exhale out, warrior two. Good. Inhale completely. Reach it back, reverse warrior. Inhale completely. Exhale, triangle. Inhale. Exhale, move into our half moon. Grab a block or a support for the hand and step it up when you're ready. Good. Shoulder stack, hip stack. So notice if this back toe is pointed towards the floor, most likely you're letting the hip come forward. See if you can open it up. Good, almost like you're trying to point it towards the ceiling. And then fingertips reach up. Lines all the way up and down the body. So from the heel to the hip, hand to the hand, head to the lifted leg. One more inhale. Exhale, both hands come down to the floor. Shorter stance for your pyramid shape. So this time the back heel will be on the floor, and then you're straightening out the front leg. Blocks under the hands are a great support here. We're going to inhale, come about halfway up, even if you need to use the hands on the leg, and push down through that inner big toe mound. Squeeze the inside of the thighs together, square off the hips, and then we're going to start to fold. Good. A couple options for the hands are to walk them forward as the head comes down, or you might even walk them back, using the fingertips to kind of grip onto the mat, bringing the knee towards the nose or nose towards the knee. One more inhale. Bend that front knee. Lay your chest onto the right thigh and reach the fingertips back. Good. Check in here. You might want to come up to balance in warrior three from this position, or you might extend the hands forward. Interweave the fingers, pointer fingers, extend it and gaze right in between those thumbs, and then lift the back foot off the floor. Straighten out the standing leg. Inhale to lengthen, flex the back foot. 3 more breaths. Last one. Fold it all the way down, forward fold. Sway it out side to side. Sigh it out. Reverse swan dive, we'll bring it all the way up, go right into the other side. Hands down to center. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, swan dive down. Half lift here. Exhale, fold. Plant those hands. Step or hop, move through your vinyasa. When you're ready, landing back in downward facing dog, take our time to bring those feet to touch. Starting off with the left leg this time. Lift it up, bend the knee, open up the hip. Good, finding that space. Inhale, completely lift the knee higher. Even pressure through both hands, and then exhale, left knee, right elbow, send it through, edge of the foot down into fallen triangle. Inhale, squeeze the left side of the body up. Exhale, back, three-legged dog. Bend the knee again. Look under the right armpit. Watch the toe come down to the floor. Either top of the foot flips under and reach it up. Wild thing. Inhale, gaze to the front of the mat. Exhale, three-legged dog again. And then stack the feet. Good. Right hand directly under the shoulder. Pull the left hand up. Start to squeeze that left knee up with the hand or not, and step it to the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep it up. High lunge, nice job. Let it settle. With your next inhale, we're going to start to create some lift through the upper body. So pull the elbows back. Chest lifts. Head falls back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then deepen into the legs at the same time. Gaze can shift. Inhale. Exhale, open it up. Warrior two. Inhale completely. Exhale, reach back, reverse warrior. Inhale. Exhale, triangle pose. Inhale here, feel the hips and shoulders stacked, and then carry that into your half moon when you're ready. Left block or hand, try to line it up in front of the pinky toe instead of the big toe, so it'll be more in line with the shoulder. Inhale and exhale. One more. Both hands down towards the floor, short stance into your pyramid. Good. So here, notice if you find the same opening in the hips like you do in warrior, if this left hip's kind of swinging out to the side. Seeing if you can even out the hips by pulling this left hip crease back, flattening the back, and then at the same time pushing through the big toe mound. We're going to inhale here, halfway lift, create space, and then exhale, start to fold. Keeping the left leg straight, you're going to feel that run all into the top of the hamstring, and then we'll deepen. Steady breath. When you're ready, bend that front knee, let the belly lay onto the thigh. Good. We're going to start to come up off the back foot. Hands might just stay at the sides of the waist. This is going to be an easier, or less challenging variation. Hands extended out is going to be a little bit more challenging, but sometimes easier to balance because you're kind of countering the weight of the leg. Inhale when you're ready. Slowly start to straighten out the standing leg. So don't pop it all the way out. Finding that stability, and it might stay slightly bent. Inhale here. Exhale all the way. Two more. All the way down into your forward fold. Good, let it go, sigh it out. When you're ready, reverse swan dive. Bring it up. All right, we're going to finish up with a toe stand, tree to toe stand variation. So again, if you would like to have some support out in front of you, a chair is a great option. You can also be close to the wall. I am going to use my two blocks just for a little extra support in the hands. So we've already done that tree once. We're going to find different variation for our tree. Again, I'll mirror you. So we're going to start with our left leg, reach it out to the side. As you lift and bring it up this time, we're going to place it on the front of the thigh, holding onto it with the right hand, and then push that left knee down. Good. Here's the start. Checking in on our balance here, finding that space. Inhale. And then exhale, using the edge of the foot at the hip crease, we're going to fold forward. Bring the hands down. Good. Onto your blocks or to the floor. And then keeping that leg there. This is a great stretch for that outer left hip. You can stay here. Just relax. Or if you want to go a little further, bend the left knee, bend the right knee, lift up onto the right toe. Snap, crackle, pop like normal. And then sit down into your toe stand. Feel free to stay here if you got to get out. Push into those hands. Use all that strength in the right leg. Lift it back up. If you want to stay, some options are to take that one of the blocks and bring it right under the front shin. This gives you just a little stability. You can find that hands at heart center. You can also bring the blocks out to the side. Good. Getting a little taller in the spine. Pushing the knees forward, core engaged. Maybe you tap those hands together. When you're ready, we're going to walk those hands forward, round the shoulders slightly, push into that right foot, lift it back up. Inhale, bring it back up to standing. And come out with control. Wiggle it out, and we'll try the other side. Root down into the feet. Bring those toes to touch, and then we're going to lift that right heel. Rotate out to the side. When you pick that foot up, it's coming up to the top of the left thigh into the hip. Good. Knee lengthens down. So the idea is supposed to open up the front of the hip, not twist the knee. If you're feeling it too much in the knee, just try that traditional tree pose. Some people can have their foot stay here without the support of the hand. Or you can just bring one hand to heart center, inhale, and then we're going to hinge forward. Good. Hands come down to those blocks, breathe where you are. Head can relax, feel that outer hip stretch. And then if you'd like to go further, bending the standing leg, lifting up onto the left heel. Good, that first variation just gives us a sense of balance. Shin comes down to the block. Still quite a bit of balance required to find that space. Chest lifts. If you want to move even deeper, blocks come to the sides in order to lengthen the spine up, create a little taller lift, and then maybe tap those hands in. Good. When you're ready, walk those hands out. Push it up. Come out with that same stability that you came into it with. Back up to your tree, take an inhale. Exhale, bring it down. Good. We'll root down into the feet, roll the shoulders back and down, and we're going to take 3 cleansing breaths here. Inhale, reach it all the way up. Exhale, sigh it out. 2 more. Very last one. Nice job. All right, we'll start to come down to the floor. We'll extend those legs forward. Finishing up with a little seated twist. So we're going to take the right leg first, pull it in, cross it over the left thigh. Extended leg can stay extended, or you can kind of tuck it back. So from the front, it looks like this. Okay, knee pointed forward. All right, take a nice big inhale. And then we're going to take the left arm, reach it up over the knee. Right hand reaches back, and then start to deepen your twist. Trying to get the back of both hips on the floor, especially the right hip. Take a nice big inhale. If you want a little half bind, some options, or to take the right hand around the left hip, or you could even wiggle those fingers through. Good. Take one more big inhale. Maybe turn and look over that back shoulder. And then we're going to rotate back to center. Keep the legs as they are, a little counter stretch to the left side. And then inhale, bring it up. Good. Extend the legs forward. Good, and we'll switch it out doing the other side. So we're going to take the left knee in, cross it over, fold that right knee under. Good. So here's the first place we notice if that left hip's lifted off the floor. See if you can push it back down. Right arm lifts, cross over the knee. Inhale, space, and left arm reaches back. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to deepen. Little half bind or full bind if that's in your practice, something you enjoy. One more full inhale. Exhale, we'll rotate back to center. Both hands come to that outer side. Legs stay as they are. Little counter stretch. Inhale, bring it back up. Good. From here, we're going to extend both legs forward, lying down onto the back. Circle the knees around just as we started class, checking in. And again, finding those little subtle transformations in the body. Good. What feels different? And then taking that sense of transformation a little deeper, maybe you come into a happy baby pose, reaching for the inner or outer arches, finding whatever movement feels best for you. You can start to extend one leg at a time, little hamstring stretch. Just getting playful. Taking that sense of transformation a little deeper, seeing if any sense of your perspective has shifted just by being on your mat for this time. Are you able to treat your own body and thoughts with a little bit more kindness and ease? Are you able to soften your judgment for yourself and others just by taking this time to breathe and move your body? And the answer does not have to be yes, we're just noticing. Noticing if our perspective has shifted just slightly. Good. When you're ready, we'll slowly begin to extend out to our full Shavasana. Good. Whichever variation feels best for you. You might have the knees bent, feet on the floor, extend all the way out. Slide the shoulders under the back, let the palms face up, toes fall open. As we drop into this space of stillness, we're going to take 3 more sighs, cleansing breaths out through the mouth. So we inhale through the nose all together. Sip in a little bit more air. Open the mouth, sigh it out. 2 more on your own. Last one. Here's where our body and mind completely let go of effort. And we give ourselves the space to just be. No matter what things are changing and shifting around us, we're just here in the present moment. to bring some awareness back to the surface of the body. Wiggling fingers and toes, rolling out wrists and ankles. One by one, we'll bend the knees, place the feet on the floor, and then gently roll over onto one side. Take this opportunity to thank the mind and the body for the work that it's done, for giving yourself the space for stillness, ease, and effort, and allowing transformation to come instead of resisting against it. When you're ready, we'll come all the way up to a seated position. As you get there, we're going to finish off our class with a reading from that same chapter. This is a really common quote from the Serenity Prayer, but applies to our intention of transformation throughout class today. So if this feels right for you, to the heart center, dropping the chin to the chest, surrendering the wisdom of the mind to the compassion of the heart. Close the eyes or keep a soft gaze towards the floor. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your virtual yoga practice today. The light in me honors the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe and like our channel. Like the video, comment, share. We appreciate it.